Hey, thanks a lot for the time and waiting this late in the day for me. Film is fantastic, looks fantastic.
Thank you.
You guys were really, really badass in the film. So obviously my first question is, how was the casting selection? How that you guys applied for the role? You have those characters specifically in mind, or you just...
No, we just kind of got sent the auditions from our agents and we did our best. I thought mine was terrible before I sent it off, but and then you just hear back from the studio and, you know, I did a meeting and I did a like a scene reading and a stunts test, and then, yeah, they just called me back.
Yeah, similarly, yeah, it's not a crazy story, unfortunately, for me, but yeah, you audition and you assume, I think everyone in Australia of a certain age, you know, went for these roles, and I assume a bunch of people said no, and they ended up with me.
Don't be down on yourself, mate.
Listen, that's your showbiz, baby. I'm fine with it. I'll take a job anyway I can get it.
Telling the story, you need the confidence.
Well, speaking of that, there is a lot of fan base worldwide on the Mortal Kombat franchise. There are fully dedicated fans, including me. Like, I have all the series, the Conquest series, the animated film. I even have Annihilation, which we can talk about that one because it's really bad. But how do you guys deal with the fan pressure of getting these characters to life and be as truly as possible to this?
It's a tough one. You know, you've got to take on board that pressure, you know, because you have to acknowledge that the fans are probably the reason the movie's getting made
absolutely.
in the first place. And so you've got to, you know, you take it on board and make sure they feel listened to, right? That's important. Because they've given so much of their dedication and love and loyalty to this.
Absolutely. And they send you things, you know, like they aided in my process because they would send me information and sort of, you know, I got a 2,000-word essay on the background of Melina and her history, which was amazing. So that actually, something that takes the pressure off for me is like, if I'm focusing on myself, like, oh, you know, am I acting good enough? How do I look? What am I doing? I kind of think, well, you know, it's not for me, it's for the fans. So stop thinking about yourself and just do what they need, if that makes sense. And that, for me, kind of takes the pressure off because I'm not thinking about myself and being good enough all the time, you know?
As the film was mostly filmed and done in Australia, you can tell the scenarios were purposely built for the film itself. It's not much blue screen or green screen in many scenes, which is great. My question is, how was the vibe and how was your reaction the first time you went on set, and what was you guys doing there? How was it?
Well, I was in a coal mine and my costume was cutting me. So I ended up bleeding and it was the best day of my life. It was the best day of my life. And I have these little scars to prove it now and I'm very fond of them. So...
Yeah, look, you're quite right. I mean, the sets and the locations are pretty epic, and it's you know, it does change you when you walk into those sets, and they're massive. There were, I believe, they repurposed it like it felt like an old airplane hangar or something in South Australia. It was absolutely massive. It wasn't a studio; it was bigger than that, and that's where we'd built the fight pit. And that sort of the temple, the inside of sort of Raiden's temple.
Yeah.
And
beautiful set.
Yeah, it was really
so well made.
I felt like you were on Indiana Jones. Or
it was unbelievable.
It was really
truly.
Cool.
And what's the future of the franchise? How many films you normally sign for? Normally they say 3, but this has to give like more than the Fast and Furious franchise. You had for 10 films here at least.
I reckon my prediction was 4, because I thought trilogy, and then they'd do one more because they could. I hope it's a trilogy.
That'd be great.
It has to be. And George, I remember when we spoke years ago, you were like, we asked you, what kind of role would you like to play in the future? You say like, I would like to either do action or some horror. This film is kind of a bit of both.
Interesting.
So looking back,
look at that, I manifested my destiny.
Looking back, what do you think? How this journey went for you?
Wow, look at that.
Look at that.
Good things do happen to bad people. That's amazing. I don't remember saying that. I do. I was asked that recently, and I said horror. I'd love to do horror, but I always feel like I'm too old now because I feel like horror films are specifically for young people.
Young hot girls,
in a cabin in the wood. Not really the no, the 40-year-old dude. It's But we'll see. But yeah, I love the horror, the action thing, and it was unexpected, to be honest. I didn't think I'd end up in that genre, but I'm so happy I got a chance to do it because it was really fun, and I hope I get to keep doing it. As you say, it'd be awesome if this was the first of many. But fingers
I hope
crossed.
so.
Yeah.
I reckon the fans will call for it, and I reckon they'll
I'm already
answer.
calling it.
Yes!
Thank you so much for your time, guys, and congratulations on the
Thank
film.
you. Thank you so much.